My first appointment with the music was when I was 6 years old in Albanian, and I started in the school of music to play violin. And was not the first instrument that I liked because I would love to play piano, but they say that I am very good musicians and have a good talent with my absolute heart, and then probably it would be much better if you play violin. And this all these 10 years that I studied with violin was a sufferance for me because I want to play piano. In 1995, I seen the television the Three Tenors show from Caracalla with Placido, Domingo, Carreras, Pavarotti. And this was the first show in television for me, and it's so big, and people are singing with so high notes, and everybody was listening. Thousand people, spectators, are looking this concert very. And then for me, this was, oh, probably I can do it. Probably this will be my way. And I try to record this with the older recorder that I have at home. This from television to record this concert, and I listening this for 2 or 3 years. Every day I listen Granada, Nessun Dorma, and probably was just 2 years school in Bolzano, and after this I win 2 competition, Caruso and Tito Schipa, and after this Claudio Abbado asking me to do auditions and to sing with him, and I was just 21. But it's very curious that from a show in television in 1995, I'm coming to be a tenor. I will say that I'm a product for 3 tenors. I thank God that these 3 tenors exist, because if I didn't see this show, probably I would not be tenor today. When I left from Albania, the first opera that I see in Bolzano was Simon Boccanegra with Claudio Abbado, and that for me was amazing. Claudio Abbado, and probably this was 2000 or 2001, and in 2004 I was singing with him. It's amazing fortune for me. I cannot believe that, but I will say that I'm very fortunate too, because everything in my way is connecting with a good fortune. The most important things that I learned from Luciano Pavarotti was l'intonazione perfetta in the singing. People want to know what you are singing, and you need to be very clear in everything, in acting, in singing, and nella pronuncia, and in everything. And yeah, il messaggio era importante. And for me, it was very good to realize that what he said will be the most important things for me for the rest of my career. La Traviata is so real, the story. I mean, Deborah finds some really news, but it's not news because it exists from 2 centuries ago. It's the same story, it's the same sentiment. It's everything was right from Giuseppe Verdi. But the beautiful is that today we can play this so real in our time. I mean, to find like a movie. And I think this production is like a movie. We are playing like actors, not like singers that stay on front and singing, and then they are acting. This is so real, and this production find this reality of Verdi, and yeah, beautiful. I mean, I didn't realize that this story was so real 2 centuries ago, and now, and at this time.
Verdi is clever because he's thought of everything that could happen in a place where someone is dying and put it there. So he has, for example, put, no sooner do you arrive than your father turns up, and then there's a row between father and son in the room of a dying girl in a hospice, I mean, that's great television writers would hope that scene was in there, and it seems that it is.
For me, Alfredo was opening the door in the most important theater, because you have the opportunity to sing. It needs to be a young tenor and probably good looking and good actor and good bel canto. You need to have these 3 or 4 things and to do a good Alfredo. And yeah, for me, the first Alfredo I said was Placido Domingo in one film with Zeffirelli, and I was in Albanian, and for me it was beautiful. But at this time I didn't realize that I will sing Alfredo 10 years later.
It is a great love story.
It's real today and was real the last 100 years before and 200 years before. I mean,
what's annoying is when we don't like them. I mean, when I go to a Traviata and I meet that society in the first thing, I think I don't like anybody here. I don't like the society, I don't like the sort of parties they like, and I obviously then don't like Alfredo or Violetta as a terribly bad start to the evening, because you've got to be in love with them at the beginning of the second act. And that's why, we put Irina into your aria, which you might have minded.
Yeah, I like it.
The point is that he's fallen in love with something that possibly nobody else ever has. I mean, he has seen what her reputation is and what she comes as, and his pursuit is brilliant and indeed potentially redemptive. I mean, you are her redemption.
Alfredo, aggiungervi di questo foglio.
What is heaven is once you fall off the table and Germant's, your father's entrance, and the shock of that is marvellous. You play that absolutely beautifully.
I mean, I try to take very real, because it is real. I mean, I'm playing this, but some of mine is coming to me.
What it does is that it tells us actually even more about your relationship with your father, which of course is very good, but it also means that you have to put more of that back in, I think, to the end of Act 2, Scene 1. You are marvellous because you, which is essential for any actor, have an enormous sense of play. Saimir plays in rehearsal. Sometimes that's all that happens. But it is everything that one wants, because you cannot, I don't believe you can find a scene without a sense of play. I mean, I think rehearsing is very complex and very serious, very professional, but actually it's a playground. And if it's not a playground, nothing will happen. And that is, the biggest tragedy if you go into a rehearsal room and that isn't happening. But you are a very, very great actor, and you're as great an actor as you are a singer, and that is not happening every day.